start.
So, welcome all again to the session 2 after a lunch break. So, we will be starting our session 2 of the day 3 with the topic quick estimate of the foundation settlement for the alluvial deposits delivered by Dr. C.S. Solanki. Dr. C.S. Solanki is a professor specialist with the geotechnical engineering in the civil engineering department at SVNIT Surat, Gujarat, and faculty member since 16th August 1991. Professor C.S. Solanki has guided more than 55 postgraduate dissertations and 18 PhD theses. He is present research supervisor of 9 ongoing PhD research scholars. He has published more than 180 research papers in reputed international and national journals and conferences. He has received the Sri M.S. Jain Biannual Award for Best Paper in IGS 2013, Professor Dinesh Mohan Award in IGS 2017, and the Distinguished Faculty Award for the Venus International Faculty Award 2016. He also received many Best Paper awards in many conferences. Professor Solanki has organized more than 20 national events, including STTPs, FDPs, conferences, and seminars. He was the chairman of the Indian Geotechnical Conference 2019 Surat. He has been elected as a member of Executive Committee IGS for the 3 terms, that is from the 2015 till 2021. He has worked as a dean and head of department at SPNIT Surat. He has published 9 books and edited proceedings. He has 30 years of teaching experience for undergraduates and postgraduate students. So with this, we welcome you, sir, in this program and looking forward for your session, sir.
Okay, thank you, Professor Saraswati, for the kind introduction. And I'm thankful to you for inviting me here to meet the participants in this Atal program, or Atal short-term program. May I audible to you clearly?
Yes, sir. You are clearly audible.
Let me share the screen here
Sure.
and request to confirm. Can you see my screen here?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank you. So screen title is, or topic of the today's presentation is quick computation of foundation settlement and new empirical correlation. Once again, I'm confirming before going to the next slide. May I audible to you?
Yes, sir. Clearly.
Okay. Can you see my screen clearly?
Yes, sir. Your title slide is on the screen.
Okay. Thank you very much for the confirmation, Professor Saraswati. And as introduced, I'm professor at Civil Engineering Department of Sardar Vallabhbhai National Institute of Technology, Surat. Here, you know that the total settlement of the foundation is consist of the immediate settlement, consolidation settlement, and settlement due to the secondary consolidation. Immediate settlement plays an important role in case of the non-cohesive soil or sandy soil, whereas the consolidation settlement plays a greater role or design is governed in case of the saturated clay soil by the consolidation settlement. And settlement due to the secondary consolidation, it is due to the creep. Generally, in compared to the summation of the immediate settlement and consolidation settlement, this settlement is neglected because the magnitude of such settlement is very less in compared to the immediate and consolidation settlement. Why we have selected this topic and what is its need? Whenever you are going for collecting the sampling, there is a chances of the sample disturbance, hence reliability is poor in case of the simple collections. Time to investigate said the much time to finalize the soil report. Whenever you will have to perform the consolidation test, it takes a longer time for the performance. You may have to go on applying the loading and corresponding deformation is measured. Consolidation test is slightly expensive in compared to the other test, and hence whenever you refer the report, in many cases, the soil report excludes the consolidation test even if it is needed to perform on the saturated clay. The aim of the work which I am presenting here is to establish fairly reliable forecast of consolidation parameters and total settlement at a specified time by passing statistically not acceptable number of tests with reference to the time and cost both. So in reference to save the time and cost, we are going for this work, and aim of this work is that here in this presentation, new approach is to be evolved for the quick settlement analysis of cohesive alluvial deposits using the new empirical correlations or compressibility parameters. Scope of the work, what I'm going to present here in this presentation is, first step is the subsoil characteristics of alluvial deposits, where I will to discuss what are the characteristics of the alluvial deposits in the South Gujarat region and surroundings. Empirical correlations for compressibility parameters of soil, which I will be discussing to you, available from the literature, as well as whatever we have been tried. Statistical analysis of the subsoil characteristics has to be presented to you. Verification of the range of properties by laboratory test and new correlations are developed. Proposed new empirical correlations for alluvial deposits, including validation, has to be presented here in this presentation. And finally, the most important part of this presentation is to be shown to use the empirical model for foundation settlement of alluvial deposits. At the end of the presentation, we are going to see the empirical model which we have been prepared for computation of the foundation settlement. Whenever we are starting any of the research, we need to go on the literature review. Whenever you start your research, your guide will ask you to go through the literature review first. So literature review, whenever you are going for the literature review, how it has to be done and what to do in it, that is very, very important. Here we are going to discuss on the consolidation parameters and consolidation settlement. Hence, we decided to go on the literature review on the parameters which are related with the consolidation settlement. So whenever we are talking on the consolidation test or the consolidation parameters, you must be knowing that we need to know about the consolidation settlement, and you need to know about the time rate settlement. That is the time required for the consolidation. What is the time required for the consolidation is important part, because in case of the saturated clay, the drainage is poor. It takes a long time to penetrate the water or to drain the water. Hence, it takes a number of years to settle. So pre-consolidation pressure is the first parameter. Whenever you are performing the consolidation test, you need to determine. Based on the pre-consolidation pressure, you are going to get the over-consolidation ratio. Is there any facility to ask some interaction with the audience, where audience can also speak?
Yes,
Professor
sir.
sir?
Yes, sir. If they wish to interact, then they can raise hand. There is option for raising hand for the participants. They will tap raise hand option, and then will enable them to speak.
Okay. So no problem.
Otherwise, they can talk everything. They can post their questions in the chat box.
No, it may be disturbance. No problem. I will go on speaking.
Okay.
Pre-consolidation pressure PC and over-consolidation ratio OCR. Over-consolidation ratio is a ratio of the pre-consolidation pressure to the existing overburden pressure. Any of you know the significance of the over-consolidation ratio? those who are knowing in geotechnical engineering what is the significance of over-consolidation ratio for determining the settlement of the foundation, they can raise the hand. Hence, the organizer may unmute you to answer the same. What is the significance of the over-consolidation ratio in determining the foundation settlement or the consolidation settlement, and where it has to be useful to us? Okay. Here you may be knowing about the normally consolidated soil and over-consolidated soil. We are coming to that. What is normally consolidated soil and what is over-consolidated soil, and what is whenever the over-consolidation ratio value is around equal to 1, then the soil is known as the normally consolidated soil. But in case whenever this value is above 1.5, the soil falls in the over-consolidated soil categories. You might have heard about the equations for finding out the consolidation settlement in terms of HC is equal to HCC upon 1 plus E0 log 10 sigma 0 plus delta sigma upon sigma 0. It does indicates that the consolidation settlement of the foundation is to be determined based on the CC value. So compressor index value, that is the CC value, can be used to compute the consolidation settlement in case of the normally consolidated soil. Whereas in case of the over-consolidated soil, either you need to use the combination of CC and CR, where R is known as the recompression index and CC is known as the compression index. Or otherwise, you can use the coefficient of the volume change in determining the consolidation settlement, and it can be obtained by HC is equal to MV delta sigma H. And time rate settlement, that is the coefficient of the consolidation CV, which you are determining either by using the log time fitting method or the square root time fitting method from performing the consolidation test. Hello. मैं क्लास में हूँ अभी बात में. Hello, so I'm sorry I had to receive one call. We are going to find out the CV using either log time fitting method and square root time fitting method. So these are the consolidation parameters, and literature review on all has to be shown to you in the detail. Let me confirm once again. May I audible to you clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Can you see my slides?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It is going perfect.
Right. Whatever I write with the pen, is it visible to you?
Yes, sir. Yes.
Thank you very much, Professor Mehul, for confirmation. So pre-consolidation pressure or stress is the maximum effective stress to which the soil has been subjected in the past. And the Casagrande's method to obtain the pre-consolidation pressure from consolidation test is based on the point of greatest curvature. Many of you are familiar with the pre-consolidation pressure and its determination using the consolidation test data. This is the procedure for performance of the consolidation test. Finding out the pre-consolidation pressure using the void ratio versus log sigma curve. What we are doing in that, establish a point A at which the curve has a minimum radius of curvature. So this is the point A where you are establishing the curve. Draw a horizontal line AB. You need to draw the horizontal line AB. Draw the line AC tangent to AA. You are doing these things. Draw a line AD which bisects this. And project the straight line portion GH of the UE versus log sigma curve and plot back to intersect line AD at F. This is intersecting at F, and corresponding to this point on the log scale, you are finding out the corresponding your PC, that is the pre-consolidation pressure. This method is being accepted by our IS code, which is the Casagrandes method to find out the pre-consolidation pressure. Now, over-consolidation ratio is related with the pre-consolidation pressure. The parameter is used in determining the magnitude of the settlement. The ratio of the pre-consolidation pressure and present overburden pressure is known as the over-consolidation ratio. So this OCR indicates PC upon P0. Next slide is similar things. The sigma dash is the pre-consolidation pressure, present effective vertical pressure. Sometimes we write this in the form of PC upon P0, that is known as the over-consolidation ratio. So whenever the soil is having the value 1, it is normally consolidated, and above 1 or 1.5, the soil is known as the over-consolidated soil. Various graphical methods are available to evaluate the pre-consolidation pressure. As shown to you, the Casagrandes method accepted by the IS code for determination of the pre-consolidation pressure. These methods are usually based on the relationship of experimental void ratio E and effective consolidation pressure P dash. All these methods are operator dependent as they require the accurate reading of logarithmic scale, drafting capability, and proper judgment of selecting the points. Graphical methods which are available for determining the pre-consolidation pressure has been listed here. These methods has been collected from the literature, and these are the various methods to find out the pre-consolidation pressure PC. Casagrandes method of E versus log sigma P curve, which is being accepted by our IS code, and these methods gives a good results provided there is a well-defined breakpoint in the E versus log sigma log P curve. Now we are coming to the literature review related to the pre-consolidation pressure of the soil. So literature review related to the pre-consolidation pressure, literature review related to the pre-consolidation pressure. Here you can see that some of the literature have been shown with the red colors. These papers are being used most in our study, and I will be discussing something on it, what we have been collected from this literature and how it has been utilized for our study. Similarly, you will find some of the papers which has been marked with the red color and which has been used for our work. Now we are coming to the magnitude of the settlement. As discussed to you, whenever we are studying about the consolidation settlement, we need to know about what is the magnitude of the settlement and how much time will it take to settle. As far as the significance of the parameters are concerned, in view of the CC, CR, and MV, which has been shown to you in the previous slides. Laboratory consolidation test takes a long time and also require the undisturbed samples. In order to overcome this difficulty, several researchers have suggested the empirical correlations for CC and MV. The various empirical correlations suggested by the researchers For the compressor index, using the liquid limit, void ratio, water content, and shrinkage index. So shrinkage index is being correlated for the value of MB, which has been given by the paper of Professor H.B. Nagaraj. Compressor index is the terminology which you are finding out from the E versus log sigma curve and slope of that. So CC you are finding out as delta E upon delta log sigma, which is using the consolidation test data, you are calculating the value of CC in the form of delta E upon delta log sigma. Where as these empirical correlations are suggested by the various authors and researchers such as the Scampton, Terzaghi, Nishida, Amin, Nath, Park and Komoto and Nagaraj. Recompression index CR is slope of the E versus log sigma rebound curve. This is the term CR which has to be obtained from the rebound curve, and new terminology has been introduced in our study, that is the compression ratio CC dash is equal to CC upon 1 plus E0. So we are going to introduce this parameter in our study in developing the correlations for CC dash. So whenever you are referring the equation of the consolidation settlement, HC is equal to HCC upon 1 plus E0 log 10 sigma 0 plus delta sigma upon sigma 0. This part is known as the CC dash. Literature review related to the parameters for magnitude of the settlement has been mentioned here. The papers which has been shown with the red colors are being used in our study for the various purposes. Other references or other literature is for your reference. If you have to refer anything from that, you can get it. At the end of the lecture, I will send the PDF file to Professor Mehul and Saraswati. It can be extended to you if required. Now, these are the papers related to the magnitude of the settlement, and it has been continued in terms of the long list of the literature for determination of the various parameters, such as the compression index, using the simple properties of the soil. Saxena et al. In 1995, the team of the author of Saxena has been presented one of the paper in Indian Geotechnical Conference IGC to 1995 for the correlations of the compressor index using the simple properties of the soil. Here in the part A, you can refer that the compressor index is being correlated with the liquid limit. Here the compressor index has been correlated with the water content. Here the compressor index has been correlated with the void ratio. Here compression index is related with the multiple parameters such as void ratio, liquid limit, and water content. This has been given us some guideline what parameters can have to be used for determining the consolidation parameters, and accordingly, we have started our study for developing the new correlations for the compressibility parameters. Coefficient of the compressibility is one of the parameter which is given by AB is equal to minus delta E upon delta sigma, and unit of the same is meter square per kilonewton. Similarly, the coefficient of the volume change MV is being equal to minus delta E upon 1 plus E0 into delta sigma, and you can find out the coefficient of the volume change according to this. You see that unit of these parameters are meter square per kilonewton. You might not be found anywhere these units, but this one is unique. A coefficient of the volume change MV is a parameter which indicates the amount of compression that the soil will undergo with an increase of the pressure. It is defined as the change in the volume per unit volume for a unit change in effective vertical stress at an given by MV is equal to delta E upon 1 plus E delta sigma V. Nagraj 2005, H.B. Nagraj is professor in Bangalore in one of the university. He did his PhD study from ISC Bangalore and he presented one of the paper at IIT Madras in 2005 for a correlation in the conference name or symposium name Predictions in Geotechnical Engineering, and he has correlated the value of MV with the shrinkage index IS. So correlation of the coefficient of the volume change with the shrinkage index have been developed by Professor Nagraj, has been presented here in this slide. Time rate settlement. It is essential to conduct a routine one-dimensional consolidation test to obtain the coefficient of the consolidation CV. The various time fitting curves are available to evaluate the CV. This is time-consuming process. Curve fitting procedures available in the literature are not completely satisfactory in evaluating the CV, hence large variation is obtained in the evaluated values by different procedures. Nagraj 2004, generally square root time fitting or log time fitting curves are used for the evaluation of the CV. The rate of settlement is directly related to the rate of the excess pore pressure dissipation. Coefficient of consolidation CV is useful in the determination of the time required for finite percentage of consolidation. The coefficient of the consolidation CV generally decreases as the liquid limit of the soil increases. The range of the variation of CV for given liquid limit is very high, and CV varies with both level of stress and degree of consolidation. So CV is one of the important parameters as discussed to you in determining the time rate settlement. Logarithmic scale, that is the deformation or dial gauge reading versus time, has to be plotted in view of deriving the value of coefficient of the consolidation. So you are very much aware by the log time fitting method. The procedure of the same has been listed here in this slide, where you are going to get the CV value at the 50% of the average degree of consolidation, and where time factor is to be taken as 0.197. H is the thickness of the stratum, which is responsible to drain the water, not to drain the water, but thickness of the stratum. And T50 is the time required for the 50% consolidation. So this method of log time fitting method is giving you the value of the time required for the 50% consolidation, and average longest drainage part during the consolidation has been taken as HDR, that is the drainage part. So these methods of log time fitting method gives you the T50 value, whereas the square root time fitting method is giving you the value of T90. Time required for 90% consolidation can be obtained by the square root time fitting method, and time factor for 95, time factor for T90, that is the 90% of the consolidation, is 0.848, and hence you can find out the coefficient of the consolidation value CV using this square root time fitting method. Now, the coefficient of the consolidation has been correlated by the various researchers with the liquid limit. This shows that the increase in the liquid limit decreases the coefficient of the consolidation. So the values increased and these values are being decreased. It does indicates that the increase in the liquid limit decreases the coefficient of the consolidation. Lower the value of CV, time required for the consolidation is higher, and accordingly, higher the value of CV, time required for the consolidation is lower. Now, this is the literature review related to the coefficient of the consolidation, which has been listed here. So you can find out here the name of the authors, year of publication and paper title. The papers which has been marked with the red color are being used for some of the study in our studies, and other papers are for your reference. Whenever I will send you the PDF file or PPT to the organizer, you may be getting it and you may refer the papers required for your study. Now, 3 of the case studies related to the predicted and measured settlement has been referred from the literature. From that, it has been found out that one of the paper is by Desai in 1996. It was an annual general lecture by Professor M.D. Desai in the IGC 1996. The another paper is on the bridge foundation for Einstein bypass, and third of the Anatolian motorway Istanbul. So these 3 papers have been studied, and some of the conclusions have been made in respect to that, why predicted settlement is being deviates to a actual settlement. Some of the common causes have been found out from this paper, and it has been listed here. In some cases, the predicted settlement deviates to a large extent from the actual settlement observed. Causes for this variation may one or more of the followings. So sample disturbance and improper evaluation of soil profiles of stratified deposits. Non-homogeneity, anisotropy, and irregularity of the soil profiles. Presence of irregular sandy seams within the clay layers. Non-ideal material behavior. Selection of the representative locations and assumptions of the one-dimensional consolidation. So these are the various causes why the predicted settlement deviates to a actual settlement which we are measuring. Now, after this literature review, which I have been shown to you in terms of the various parameters on the consolidation parameters, I am coming to the study area. Which study area we have been selected? What are the properties of the study area? The new developed correlations, use of the correlations, an empirical model, which I will have to discuss to you in this next part of the presentation. Professor Mehul or Professor Saraswati?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
May I audible to you clearly?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfect.
My slides are visible to you?
Yes, sir. It is visible.
Okay. Whatever I mark with the pen with the blue color, is it possible to see from your side?
In this side? Right
Not
now?
in this, in the previous slide.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It was visible. Yes, sir. It was visible.
Okay. I'm confirming
And
sometimes.
right now,
it
yes, sir,
happens
right now
that-
even it is visible. You just highlighted just below the study area.
Okay. I'm confirming all these things to you 2-3 times in a lecture with the purpose that if something goes wrong, I can come to know.
Okay,
That's
okay, sir.
why-
Okay. Yes, sir. That will be fine, sir. Yes.
Now we are coming to the study area, the area which we have been studied for developing these things. Alluvial deposits of the South Gujarat region, where we have been selected the area of the Surat Municipal Corporation and Surat Urban Development Authority. This is the Surat city area, and this is the surrounding area. The study area is divided into the 10 zones. We do have the 10 zones, 6 zones of the Surat city, and 4 zones of the Urban Development Authority. So total 10 zones are there. The subsoil characteristics of each zones are studied in the detail. You can find here the zones of the Surat Municipal Corporation. These zones have been divided into the East Zone, North Zone, West Zone, Southwest Zone, Central Zone, and South Zone. Which area comes under which part, that I am going to show you. So those who are familiar with the Surat city or surroundings, they can come to know about in which area it falls. This has been divided long back in 2016. Nowadays, some of the part of the SUDA has come under the SMC limits, but whenever we have been studied these things, has been plotted here. These are the different zones, and corresponding locations of these zones have been listed here. You can see that which zones come under which area, or which area comes under which zone. It can be seen from this slide. This is the slide of the Surat Municipal Corporation, and this is the SUDA divisions. In addition to the 6 zones of the Surat Municipal Corporation, you do have the 4 zones of the Surat. Surat Urban Development Authority, 1, 2, 3, and 4. So you are having total 6 zones, 6 plus 4. We do have the Northwest SUDA, Southwest SUDA, Southeast SUDA, and Northeast SUDA. Zones of the SUDA as per 2006, the zones and locations, which locations comes under which zone have been mentioned here. So you can refer the area which has to become in which zone has been presented here. Now we are coming to the subsoil characteristics which we have been studied for the particular zones or the areas which we have been studied. So Surat Municipal Corporation and Surat Urban Development Authority zones with subsoil characteristics, average subsoil characteristics. The soil characteristics of each zone are studied up to a depth of 8 meters. This depth is maximum stress zone for the shallow foundations. Generally for multi-story buildings, here in Surat city or surroundings, this is located at the 3 meter depth, and the most soil properties up to the depth of 8 meters are being studied. We have been considered that the average width of the foundation is 2.5 meter. Hence, they may require the data of the 8 meter depth going 1.5 to 2 times below the depth of the foundation. The total stress preservable area may be 8 meter or so. Liquid limit is in the range of 30 to 60. Plastic limit is in the range of 15 to 30. Plasticity index is in the range of 15 to 30. Void ratio 0.6 to 0.9. Dry unit weight 14.5 to 16 kilonewton per meter cube. Water content is in the range of 15 to 25. Fines in the 70 to 100. Compression index and compression ratio are in the range of 0.2 to 0.3 and 0.12 to 0.17 respectively in each zones. Subsoil characteristics of the alluvial soils, soil properties and moist range has been mentioned here. And you can find out the moist range of each properties of the soil. These are the properties which we are required to study, for which we have done or developed the correlations. So we do have the liquid limit, plastic limit, plasticity index, void ratio, dry unit weight, water content, porosity, fines, clay content, silt content. This should be compression index, and then you do have the compression ratio, differential free soil, and etc. Now, statistical analysis of the soil index and consolidation properties. A data set containing the index and consolidation parameters are used to conduct a statistical study to determine the suitable correlations for estimating the consolidation response. This statistical analysis is carried out in order to obtain the most suitable and practically applicable relationships. So what are the statistical parameters which we have been studied? In our study has been mentioned here. Statistical summary of the parameters such as mean, median, standard deviation, coefficient of variance, skewness, kurtosis, and range are presented for all zones. The statistical analysis is done with the stock software, and the descriptive statistics feature of this provides a summary of basic parametric and non-parametric statistics that describe a sample of values. Here you do have the statistical summary of the subsoil characteristics for the all zones. The mean value range for these properties have been mentioned here in this slide. Now, coefficient of variance for most soil properties in all zones found below 30%, except very few cases. The lower value of the skewness and kurtosis in all zones indicates the symmetry of the data. The coefficient of the variance has been found below 30%. It indicates that it has been given the more confidence to us for developing the correlations. Now we are coming to the empirical correlations for alluvial deposits. The magnitude of the consolidation is determined from the compression index. Compression index of the soil is generally obtained from consolidation test data. Researchers have suggested the various correlations for compression index of soil, as consolidation tests are having many limitations. In view of that, these parameters are being used for determining the consolidation parameters from the literature which has been available to us. From that, we selected the random equations for finding the compression index using the liquid limit. So these are the 7 equations used for our study, which has been available from the literature and computed the values. Empirical correlations from literature with the void ratio have also been studied. So compression index using the void ratio, using the empirical correlations have been studied. We tried to implement these equations for our study, but results have been found that the values does not match with the actual value which we have been obtained from the consolidation test data. While using these values with the consolidation test data and using the various equations, you do have this one is the plot of the same. This red line is from the consolidation test data. Other lines are from the different empirical correlations. It has been found that this line does not match with any of the lines. Similar thing has been happened for the void ratio, and no one line is being found matching with the same in these cases. So in view of that, it has been found that there is a need for development of the new correlations. Various methods and empirical correlations are available to predict the consolidation parameters. Use of empirical correlations for consolidation parameters cannot be generalized for all places and all soils. Empirical correlations should be used only after verifying its feasibility for particular region and type of soil. It just indicates that you need to find its feasibility for the particular region and type of soil. I discussed the need of the test, which is repeated here. Not going to discuss it, but we have been performed the 14 consolidation tests in the different zones of the Surat city and Sudan. This has been shown that these are the values of the various properties of the soil which have been tested from these zones. These values are of liquid limit, void ratio, plasticity index, porosity, water content, compression index, and compression ratio. So these values have been found from our study, and you can see these values of the compression index using for the 14 zones of the Surat city and surroundings. Now, while applying these values and determining the compression index using the liquid limit, the R-square value has been found out to be 0.8435. This value has been found out to be 0.8435. Similarly, while using the void ratio, its R-square value has been found out as 0.72. Using the value of the plasticity index, this R-square value has been found out as 0.70. Compression index using the plasticity index has been determined, and R-square value has been found out in this way. So using this and doing the things, we do have the compression index from porosity. R-square value is 0.71. And we do have the compression index from water content, and where the R-square value is 0.77. So these are the correlations of the compression index using the various parameters. I have discussed to you liquid limit, plasticity index, void ratio, water content, and porosity. Similarly, the compression ratio has been compacted, and value of the compression ratio from liquid limit has been obtained with the R-square value of 0.90. Similarly, the compression ratio value has been obtained for plasticity index IP with the R-square value of 0.8579. And then compression ratio from water content has been determined, and the R-square value is 0.67. So using the various parameters known as the simple parameters for finding out the compression index and compression ratio, it has been shown that using these properties, it is giving the good value of the correlation of determination. So new correlations are being developed for the compression index and compression ratio. These relations are being developed, but it has been found that using the liquid limit and using the plasticity index, This is giving the more value of the correlation coefficients or correlation determination in compared to the other properties. So in further study, we have been tried to restrict our study using the liquid limit and plasticity index for finding out the correlations. We do have the significance of the plasticity characteristics on compressibility parameters of alluvial deposits. In the previous study, new correlations were proposed for prediction of the compression index and compression ratio using the liquid limit, plasticity index, water content, void ratio, and porosity for alluvial deposits of SMC and surroundings. The correlations obtained using the soil plasticity characteristics having higher value of correlation coefficients. These correlations are used for predicting the compression index and compression ratio for all zones of the SMC and SUDA. So application of new correlations. New correlations derived for compression index of soil using the soil index properties are used for different zones of SMC and SUDA region. Experimental results of different zones are studied for soil index and consolidation properties. Measure data of SMC and SUDA giving reasonably good correlation coefficient between the soil plasticity and compression characteristics. Initially, liquid limit and plasticity index are used as single parameter for determining the compression characteristics of alluvial soils. From statistical analysis and detailed study of the results, found that using both the parameters of soil may improve the correlation coefficient. So here, the correlation coefficient has been determined based on that. You can find here CC from test and CC from WL value, CC from test and CC from IP value, CC from test and CC from average value of liquid limit and plasticity index. Similar things has been done for CC dash, predicted and measured compression index and compression ratio for the Surat Municipal Corporation has been presented here in this slide. Similar thing has been presented for the SUDA region also. Now we are coming to the next slide, that is new empirical correlations. Professor Mehul?
Yes, sir.
Everything is okay?
Yes, sir, fine.
Okay. So new correlations are empirical correlations has to be developed, and the study was carried out for determining the consolidation parameters of soil using single or multiple index or plasticity characteristics. New empirical correlations are derived for the pre-consolidation pressure, over-consolidation ratio, coefficient of consolidation with soil plasticity characteristics. Correlations are also obtained for compression index and compression ratio using multiple parameters. So our target is to find out the correlations for these parameters, which has been discussed to you starting from the presentation, pre-consolidation pressure, over-consolidation ratio, compression index CC, compression ratio CC dash, and coefficient of the consolidation CV. We are targeting here to derive the new empirical correlations for alluvial soils using the simple properties, and which has to be presented to you now. Now you see that Nagaraj et al. In 1991 shows that The pre-consolidation pressure PC can be determined on the basis of the simple parameter E by EL, where E is the natural void ratio and EL is the void ratio at the liquid limit. So PC can be a function of E by EL, which you can find here. Similar thing has been presented by Chetia and Bora in 1998, and they have been found that the overconsolidation ratio can be correlated with E by EL, and this one is nothing but it is the existing overburden pressure. So PC can be a function of E by EL, and similar things has been implemented in our study for finding out the pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio using the simple parameter that is E by EL parameter. So correlations for pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio has been shown here. Using soil index and consolidation test data, new empirical correlations are proposed for pre-consolidation pressure in kilonewton per meter square and over-consolidation ratio for alluvial deposits. So PC has to be determined on the basis of PL. This equation we have been derived from our data, which we are having. Similarly, correlation has been developed for OCR with respect to the E by EL ratio. So you can find here, in our study using the simple properties, we can find out the pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio using the simple parameter known as the E by EL parameter. Now, going to the next slide, measure versus predicted pre-consolidation pressure has been compared. This PC is from correlation. This PC is from test data. Comparison is shown, and R square value has been found out as 0.75. Measured versus predicted over consolidation ratio has been shown here, and the R square value has been found out at 0.793. This indicates that in case of the pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio, whenever it has been compared, it is giving the good value of the correlation coefficient, which has given us the confidence to use for our study and our research. Now, we are going to next slide is coefficient of consolidation for liquid limit, and that is R square. And this has been compared with the liquid limit. I've been showing you one of these slides in the literature review where Lambe and Whitman paper has been shown to you. As per this paper, increase in the liquid limit decreases the coefficient of the consolidation. Similar thing has been happened here in our study. We have been compared the CV with the liquid limit of the soil with the R square value of 0.7867. So likewise, this has been compared and it has been shown. You can find this. Measured versus predicted CV has been compared once again from plasticity index, and R square value has been found more better in comparing with the plasticity index, and that is 0.8661. You can refer here. Coefficient of consolidation from plasticity index has been shown. R square value has some more better values with the plasticity index, and this R square is 0.9106. So whatever I have been shown to you, in comparison of the liquid limit and plasticity index, developing the correlations, how we have been obtained the correlations for the pre-consolidation pressure, over-consolidation ratio, and coefficient of the consolidation. Measured versus predicted CV has been mentioned here. with the R square value of 0.95. Now, correlations for coefficient of consolidation. In the present study, the coefficient of consolidation is correlated with the liquid limit and plasticity index of soil. It is observed that CV for alluvial soil of above mentioned subsoil are giving higher value of correlation coefficient with plasticity index in compared to the liquid limit. The correlation of CV with liquid limit is also quite satisfactory. And correlations for coefficient of consolidation. New empirical correlations are derived using the liquid limit and plasticity index for determining the coefficient of consolidation of alluvial soils of above mentioned properties using the test data of loading range up to 200 kilonewton per meter square. This loading range of 200 kilonewton per meter square has been kept in view of the shallow foundation. Even if you go for the exploration or stress intensity up to the 10 meter and you multiply it with 20 kilonewton per meter square, this is 10 meter, this is giving you the confining pressure of 200 kilonewton per meter square. So in view of that, these values has been kept here, and CV values correlation has been found with the liquid limit and plasticity index has been presented here. Now, correlations for compression index and compression ratio of the soil. Professor Mehul, may I take the 2 minutes break?
Yes, sir. Yes, yes, sir.
2 minutes break only
Yeah,
for
sure,
water.
sir.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so may I audible?
Yes, sir.
Correlations for compression index and compression ratio of the soil has to be determined. And we have been used the various simple properties for determination of the same. We do have the liquid limit, void ratio, water content, sinkage index, etc. But we have been tried mainly with these two properties. One is liquid limit, and second one is the plasticity index. So measured and predicted compression index. Here you can see this figure where number of data sets has been used with the measured values, and R square value while using both the liquid limit and plasticity index has been found out as 0.85. Now, compression ratio from liquid limit has been determined, and that with liquid limit, it is being found out as R square is 0.8588. Now, predicted and measured compression ratio, when compared and used the two parameters, such as liquid limit and plasticity index, the CC dash value has been found with the R square of 0.8674. Whenever comparing in this way, you do have also the light dotted line and dark line are being matching. Whenever you study in terms of the histogram, compression ratio from measured values and compression ratio from histogram from correlations have been shown that this is showing the similar histograms in both the cases. Similar thing has been happened while comparing using both the properties such as liquid limit and plasticity index. The nature of histograms has been found very similar. The various empirical correlations are used for determining the compression ratio of different consolidation test data. It is found that use of liquid limit and plasticity index both gives the better correlation coefficient. In absence of the plasticity index data, correlation of liquid limit can be used. The purpose of study was to predict the compressibility parameters using the regression model with more general applicability. Prediction of compression index, compression ratio, using the optimized multiple regression models may result in accurate consolidation settlement. We have been used some of the data from the research papers. One of the research paper of Pisa Tower, 1 minute, please. Application of the new correlations with various case studies of the subsoil range, where we have been used one of the paper of Pisa Tower and second paper of the Kolkata Temple Desai 2004. So we do have the Pisa Tower having horizon A, B2, B4, and Kolkata Temple site. These properties has been compared with the correlations CC and CC dash, and these are the values from the research papers. So the difference has been found around 11%. This seems to be good. And it has been shown that if other sites are having the properties in the same range, you can also go on utilizing the correlations which has been derived by us. Now we are coming to the most important part of this presentation, that is empirical model. What is the empirical model? What are the input data? What we are obtaining using the input data, and how do we get the final settlement for the preliminary design? It has to be discussed. May I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
you are
Yes,
right.
sir.
Okay, thank you. So model introduction is that empirical model is prepared to predict the settlement of the cell of foundations, incorporating the soil index and plasticity characteristics. The model incorporates the computation of over-consolidation ratio, time rate settlement, magnitude of settlement, and differential settlement of foundations. The model will be useful for foundation design incorporating the differential settlement of foundations. This model is proposed to obtain the settlement of shallow foundations for alluvial deposits. In this model, input parameters are soil index and plasticity characteristics for obtaining the settlement of the foundations. The soil index and plasticity characteristics, in addition to geometrical foundation parameters and load on the foundations, are required to obtain the settlement using this empirical model. Now, what are the model inputs and which value we are going to input in the model? It has been mentioned here in this slide. The soil properties and geometrical parameters are used as input parameters are percentage finer, bulk unit weight of soil, water content, liquid limit, plasticity index, specific gravity, SPT value, width of the footing, length of the footing, depth of the footing, degree of consolidation. These are to be considered as the input parameters. The portion which has been shown here is a part of the input data which we are required to give for the foundation design in respect of the settlement. Now, model computes the area of footing, shape load on the footing with dry unit weight gamma D, void ratio E, thickness of the compressible layer H, void ratio at the liquid limit EL, existing overburden pressure P0, pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio OCR. So these parameters which have been mentioned here in the last 4 lines, which has to be computed by the model based on the whatever values we are giving as the input values. Now, empirical model for computation of the foundation settlement of alluvial deposits. This is the project. You need to enter your project name. You need to enter your project number. What is the footing number? Percentage finer needs to be mentioned. Based on that, you can come to know whether soil is a fine grain soil or a coarse grain soil. Types of soil you are mentioning here in terms of the classification of the soil. Then gamma is the unit weight, water content, liquid limit, plasticity index, specific gravity of the soil grains. Standard penetration test has been implemented here. The N value has been implemented here to find out the immediate settlement of the foundation in case of the sandy soil. So if sandy stratum has to be come in between the clay soil, the standard penetration resistance can be determined. Contact pressure between the soil and footing has to be mentioned, that is Q, where B is the width of the footing, L is the length of the footing, D is the depth of the footing in meter, and U is the degree of consolidation. So the degree of consolidation is being given to get the time rate settlement and other properties why we are giving them that I am discussing to you while I am explaining with the model computation. So computation of various parameters has been done based on the input parameters, where area is equivalent to B into L, which has been presented here, where you are going to give your size of the foundations, and based on that, you are getting the area. What is the shape load on the footing, which you can be computed on the basis of the contact pressure between the footing multiplied by the area of the footing. That's why it is giving you what is the safe load on the footing has to be applied. Now, gamma D is the dry unit weight of the soil. You are very familiar with the equation. Gamma D is equal to gamma upon 1 plus W. And based on that, you are finding out the dry unit weight of the soil. Void ratio E has to be applied as E is equal to G gamma W upon gamma D minus 1, where gamma D W is 9.81, G is specific gravity, and gamma D has to be kept in kilonewton per meter cube, and hence you are going to get here the void ratio. The void ratio is being needed here in computation of, void ratio is needed here to compute the E by EL. And similarly, as you know that the WG is equal to ESR, but whenever the degree of saturation is 100%, whenever the degree of saturation is 100%, and this you can have WL into G is equal to E. So based on that, the void ratio at the liquid limit can be determined. WLG is equal to EL. So P0 is equal to gamma into D plus H by 2. And hence you do have the original effective overburden pressure. And based on this data which you have been computed, you are going to find out the value of pre-consolidation pressure, which has to be determined by E by EL and P0 values. So this model computes the pre-consolidation pressure based on the E by EL value. Similarly, the model computes the over-consolidation ratio based on the E by EL value. You can see here, this is the E by EL to find out the OCR. Whereas the P0 is the existing overburden pressure. You are referring this slide to find out how the model computes the pre-consolidation pressure and over-consolidation ratio using the simple parameter known as the E by EL parameter. Now, CC dash is the compression ratio. If IP is not known, the CC dash can be used or find out using the WL. If WL and IP both are known, in such cases, the CC dash is being obtained using these values. Now, from the literature, it has been found that the recompression index or the recompression ratio is 0.1 times of the compression index or the compression ratio. That's why this is taken as the 10% of this value has been taken in terms of the recompression ratio. This slide is showing you how the things are being calculated in the model and what has been kept inside the model. So average incremental stress has to be computed. You may be aware of the stress distribution, where the stress distribution delta P is being computed on the basis of the contact pressure multiplied by the area of the footing divided by B plus Z and N plus Z. So B is the width of the footing, L is the length of the footing, and Z is the center of the clay stratum or center of the compressible layer. Now in computing the consolidation settlement and using the over consolidation ratio, we have been introduced that if the OCR is less than or equal to 1.5, the soil has been considered in the case of normal consolidated soil, and consolidation settlement has to be computed based on the IS codes. If it is above 1.5, in such cases, you are required to use both the parameters in combination, CC dash and CR dash, and you are finding out the value of the consolidation settlement. Again, there are two cases. P0 plus delta P is greater than P0 and P0 plus delta P is less than PC. Hence, you do have the two cases for computation of the consolidation settlement as seen. Here we do have to include the correction factors for the computation of the settlement. These correction factors are those which are known as the depth factor and the rigidity factor. Depth factor and rigidity factor are the two factors. The values of both the factors are dependent on the width, depth, length, etc. Here, these values has been taken as 0.8 in both the cases, and corrected consolidation settlement has been computed in terms of 0.64 SC. However, in computation of the immediate settlement, yes, you know that SI is equal to QB 1 minus mu square upon mu ES into IW. So you are going to have the value of ES, that is the soil modulus, and this soil modulus is being computed using the N value, and hence the immediate settlement can be computed using the ES value. So again, you do have to apply the corrections, and the total settlement of the foundations can be computed as the summation of the immediate settlement and the consolidation settlement. This slide shows that how to find out the magnitude of the total settlement. In the next slide, we are going to see how will you compute the time rate settlement or difference between the settlement of the two puttings. So if IP is not known, CV is the coefficient of consolidation, and that is equivalent to or has been correlated with the WL or WP. So your degree of consolidation is less than 60 degree. Your TV value is this, that is the time factor. If you do have the degree of consolidation greater than 60%, in such cases, your TV value is this. So depending on the value of the degree of consolidation, you will also have to see whether your drainage is a single drainage or the double drainage. In case of the single drainage, we are taking the depth of the compressible layer or the thickness of the compressible layer as equal to the same. But in case of the double drainage, as the drainage is from both the sides, you are required to take the half of the thickness of the same, and based on that, you are determining the time required for the consolidation. So time required for the consolidation has been determined on the basis of the time factor, on the basis of the coefficient of consolidation, on the basis of the thickness of the stratum. What are the number of days required to settle? It can be computed in terms of the time t for determining the time required for the consolidation. Here you can also determine the differential settlement by such that if you enter the putting number 1, 2 likewise and you get the difference, the difference can be taken as the differential settlement. Now, center to center distance between the two puttings have been known. In such cases, the angular distortion can be determined in terms of the differential settlement divided by the distance between the two puttings. That is the center to center distance between the two puttings. So by this way, you are going to find out here the differential settlement or the total settlement of the foundations too. Now, based on this study, we are concluding that an extensive database of geotechnical properties of SMC and SUDA has been presented. It has been shown that such a database can provide the information regarding trends, relationships, and statistical properties, a mechanism whereby test results can be checked, and geotechnical information for preliminary design purposes. Empirical model is proposed to predict the settlement of the foundations, incorporating the soil index and plasticity characteristics. The model incorporates the computation of pore consolidation ratio, time rate settlement, magnitude of settlement, and differential settlement of foundations. The model will be useful for optimization of foundation design, incorporating the differential settlement of foundations. So whatever various correlations which we have been developed in terms of the pre-consolidation pressure, post-consolidation pressure, CV values, CC days, etc. has been presented here in this. And with this, I end my presentation here. These are the various references which has been shown to you here. I'm going to send you the PDF file. So whatever reference you may be interested, you can find from this and you can refer the same. Number of literature has been given here to study for the study purpose, which I am sending to you to the organizer, and organizer may arrange to send the same to you. I thank the organizer, Professor Mehul, Professor Saraswati, and Professor Panchal for inviting me to meet you all people here in presenting the things to the participants of this HTTP program. Thank you all for the patience listening. Thank you all.
Thank you, sir. Any questions from participant side? Anyone want to ask the questions? They can raise their hand. We will allow them to talk. We will give them for the permission to talk.
Madam, I have a few questions.
Yes, sir.
First of all, sir, thank you so much for wonderful presentation. We actually know during settlement analysis it will be difficult to get the value of the compression index and compression ratio with the consolidation test data. And especially the work is appreciated what you have done for the Surat region to get the geotechnical correlations of compression index and compression ratio with the other index properties like liquid limit and plasticity index, etc. So, sir, my question is in one of your slide, you have shown for the consolidation settlement analysis that you have multiplied depth factor and rigidity factor with the consolidation settlement. Am I right, sir?
Yes.
So, sir, do we need to multiply it with the consolidation settlement? Because see, depth factor, rigidity factor is taking care for the flexibility of the footing, and in the analysis of consolidation settlement, it is not mentioned anywhere, up to my knowledge, that somewhere it is mentioned that here we are considering the footing as a flexible footing. Okay, so is there any need to multiply the rigidity factor with the consolidation settlement? And sir, depth factor, we are already taking care of the depth of the footing with the surcharge calculation. When we are calculating the surcharge, effective surcharge, okay, already the effect of the depth will be encountered. Then why we need to multiply the depth correction factor with the consolidation settlement?
Professor Mehul.
Yes.
I have been referred one of the problem of allowable bearing pressure for the foundation settlement from the book of Professor Satyendra Mittal,
okay,
where one case studies is given.
Okay.
Where there are 6 or 7 layers are there, and the computation of the settlement for the foundations has been done.
Okay.
But whenever this problem which we have been referred, it is for the rough foundations.
Okay.
I am sending just now while talking to you, I am sending to you the PDF file for the same.
Yes.
Where on completion of getting the total settlement of the foundations, for the design,
Hmm.
and while comparing it with the permissible limits, before going to that, as per the Indian Standard Code, they have been applied the rigidity factor and depth factor in terms of the total settlement.
Yes, sir. Yes.
So this has been applied.
Yes, sir.
Just now I have sent this file to you
Huh.
and it has been applied to you.
With that reference
Uh,
only, I was talking it in IS 8009 part 1. I guess
Yes.
the rigidity factor
Figure-
and defect is only multiplied with the immediate settlement.
Figure 13.7 and the next part has been mentioned about the depth factor and rigidity factor, where you need to take it into the consideration,
Yes.
which has been shown to you. You can go through the same.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Mhm. I thought that it is a part of the Schlecher's theory only, where we are considering the 40 elasticity theory.
No.
Because that
Whenever
equation
you are calculating and going
for the settlement, that Q is equal to 1 minus mu square divided by E into I. It is derived with the elasticity theory. So I thought it is only multiplied with the settlement what we have calculated with the elasticity theory. That's why that question came in my mind. And sir, one more thing, sir, you have mentioned that OCR ratio 1.5. Right? If OCR ratio is less than 1.5, then it is considered as a normally considered soil. And if it is greater than one,
in many
so,
of the literature, actually the normally consolidated soil is for the OCR value of 1.
Yes, exactly. That's
But
what I'm asking.
in many literature, it has been found that up to OCR value of 1.5, you can treat the soil as a normally consolidated soil and you can design your foundations accordingly. In case if the OCR ratio is over 1.5, you may have to apply the over-consolidated soil and you may design the things or you may calculate the settlements according to the over-consolidated soil. Hence, in our study, we have been found this ratio below 1.5 as a case of the normally consolidated.
Okay. As far as the laboratory consolidation curve is considered, right? Because we know it is a bit deviated with the field consolidation curve. Right? Am I right, sir?
Yes.
Okay. And sir, yes, in some of your correlation, the work you have done with respect to that pre-consolidation pressure. So with which method you have calculated pre-consolidation pressures? Is it Casagrande's method?
Yes, it is Casagrande's method recommended by Indian Standard Code to determine the PC value.
Yes.
I will explain the same method to also in the presentation.
Okay. Yes. That is fine. Okay. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you for
all.
wonderful presentation.
Thank you all. Thank you.
Sir, one
May I
question.
leave?
Sir,
Some more questions are there from the participants. Miss Saraswati, you may please continue.
Yeah, sir, one question is that how to determine the contact pressure between the loading plate and the stone column?
Loading plate and the stone column means?
Ravikant, if can we?
If participant would like to talk, then we can unmute you, Mr. Ravikant Sate. Okay, you can interact with the speaker.
Ravikant, as your question seems to be some incompleted, can you discuss the same with this expert?
This settlement can be this contact pressure can be found out in the similar manner, whatever we are finding between the foundations and the structures.
Sir, one question I just wanted to ask. When we are designing the foundation that to be placed on the sand, so it becomes difficult to determine the stress history, whether the sand is under the normally consolidated or in the OC condition. So in such cases, what are the suggested way to understand the stress history of the sand?
Stress history of the sand does not affect the mold the design like clay. There is no significance of the stress history in case of the sand like deconsolidation pressure, what we have in the clay, right?
Yes.
It does not affect mold.
Okay. 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 Thank you, sir. Thank you
Okay.
for
Sir,
sharing your.
sir, it means that if for the consolidation settlement analysis, only the stress history is required. If we are going to perform the consolidation test and want to do the analysis based on that.
Yes.
Okay, okay. Otherwise, it is not important. So for the corrosion-less material, you would recommend to be dependent on the field test like SCPT and
SCPT
SPT for
or-
the
Yes,
determination of.
you have many tests are there to perform on the in the field on the non-cohesive soils.
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay.
Because it is a bit difficult to procure the mixed up
Mm.
specimen, and that's why I think.
Okay. So any questions from our participant side? I think so. There is no questions with us. So I thank you, sir, for sharing your findings and study with us and our
Inviting me
participants.
here. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes. And regarding the development of empirical model between the settlement parameter with the index property of soil for the quick estimation of the foundation settlement, which has been incorporated along with the literature work that has been done in this area. So I hope all the participants has find this session interesting and this will be helpful in their work also. So thank you very much, sir, for being a part with us. It was a great session from your side.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.